Now here we're providing, say, like a temporary pole, but we're using a pedestal to do so. Now reviewing the figure loop, and it's talking about temporary wiring rules, see pages 13-22 and 13-23. And then when we look at the note, it talks about for rules regulating temporary wiring. See 590.3A through D as in dog, and 590.4A through J as in Jim. Now, the driven rod rules are the same, so we won't go over them again. You see we have the sections listed, the three, but we have a pedestal this time. And then the transformer will feed the pedestal. Sometimes they'll have a handhold or a company-owned type enclosure, as you see there, that the utility may require you as an electrician to have, and you'll have a pad-mounted transformer, and you're not running overhead. Now, there's some construction site areas, they won't even let you put in a TP pole, as we previously looked at in the previous illustration. They want everything underground in that subdivision, maybe, see? So you have to see what is required. But notice the suggested service support there is a 4x4 minimum wood pole, unspliced and set so that the pole is stable. So you get it into the depth, and usually all your utilities want at least 3 foot. A good support. But notice that there's not any pull like a drop to it, so you don't have to have the brace, but you do have to have the support unbroken so that there's not any weak areas. And when you review this, notice that you could have a number 8 or number 6 grounding electrode conductor to be connected within the service equipment as required by the power company, or whatever size that you would need for your grounding electrode type conductor from table 250.66. If you're sizing a grounded conductor to serve as a path for a fault current to travel over, then naturally that'd be your table 250.102C as in car 1. And when we, if you want to learn and go through, I think one of a very good grounding chapter, just review chapter 16 in the volume 2 of Stallcup's electrical design book, and you have illustrations there that you can look at to see exactly what is required to provide a path, an effective ground fault path for fault current with using the grounded conductor, but also if the grounded conductor is used as a neutral, it goes through all this. So this illustration is just illustrating a temporary pole type installation, but you're not using a pole, you're using a pedestal, and then of course you see in the note the sections that are recommended to be looked at before such an installation is made. And it's just so, as an electrician, you know what's going on. You're not taking somebody's word for it. You know what's going on. So again, do you want to be a very knowledgeable electrician, or you just want to be a body? And this is the things that we see out there today. Not knocking anybody, just saying, what is how do you want to be known in the industry? As a body or a qualified electrician that knows the NEC and any type of codes that's needed to do your job?